What up, everybody, and welcome to Late Night Live number 149. One away from 150. That's exciting. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day / evening / morning / whatever time it is for you. How's it going, Karina? So, couple things we gotta get started. Spin the top. Oh, and then I picked up some new Japanese incense today that I'm super excited about, and I'm gonna burn a little bit of it. I'll be completely honest, I meant to do this before we started, but I forgot. So here we I just remembered. So here we go. Leather wrapped lighter, of course, because everything I own is leather wrapped. Oh. There, little bit of incense in the background today, for fun. How's it going, Skeet? What up, Oja Swinny? Winter Mike. Yeah, it's not cold in my apartment. This hat just makes me feel cozy, and I felt, I don't know, something about tonight made me feel like I wanted to be cozy. So we're Cozy Mike today. What's going on, Olivia? Hello, hello. Hello, Amir. Nice to see everybody. Yes, in Montreal, you for sure. You must own a hat like this, I would imagine. Now, today we are curating an alphabet. And I realized as I sat down to sort of start prepping my station for tonight's live, I realized I was gonna prep a new nib, and then I didn't have time today. So I was gonna sit down like 2 minutes ago and do it here before I got started and like rush and try to get it done. But then I figured since there's no real need to rush, I'll just do it complete from scratch. So I'll prep a nib and then tune it, sharpen it up a little bit if I have to. My my magnifying glass, or my microscope, that's the word I was looking for, is not currently plugged in, so I can't give you a super close-up view of the tines. Well, hello, Lori. Lori's earlier today than usual. All right. Oh, that smells so lovely. Burning, it's Japanese. I don't remember the brand, but it's frankincense incense today. From an awesome Japanese shop not far from me, and it is amazing smelling. Okay, there's one more nib down there. Dump out my nibs, and we're just gonna pick one. Why won't come out? That nib in there. Dental tool. Oh, there we go. Threatened it with a dental tool, and it got scared. Now we're gonna set ourselves up for success. I'm gonna go for, Butterfingers. Whichever one of these looks the best. That one's pretty much center. Well, hello, a modern penman. Wait a minute, a modern penman. Who are you? A modern penman. I know who you are, but I cannot remember. It is somebody new, but it's not somebody new in the like Instagram, and it's a handle that I recognize, and my brain is just not letting me know who it is. Yep, top is a spinning, but the battery is not. I did not charge it, so it might die a lot sooner than. And it's actually looking a little wobbly. It might die in the next like couple minutes, perhaps. That one's a little off center. And one of these nibs actually has, it looks like it has like a coating of some kind. These are Hunt 101s. Yeah, this one. I wish I had my microscope so I could show you. It looks like it has a coating of sorts. Ooh, that one's pretty centered. I like that one. Okay. We're gonna do that third one that I talked about. Yeah. This one. Fresh Hunt 101. Oh, look. Because, Lewis, you have so many handles. I'm going to put you on blast here a little bit. Because you have all sorts of scripts that you used, and then you have a modern penman that you use, and then you have ornamental penmanship that you use. I can't keep up with all of these handles you use, Lewis. Oh, hey, Cyril. How's it going? All right, let's get this. We'll give this the toothpaste treatment really quick. I figured it was Lewis. I thought there was a chance it could be JJ. Or there's even, like, I know Brian Shibuya has had names similar or close to a modern penman at one point. So I don't know. Hard to hazard a guess. Let's get some toothpaste. Never far away from my desk. Some toothpaste. Actually, let's zoom in. Yeah. What? There are many ways of prepping a nib. This is just the way that I like to do it. Much easier to go and take the nib to, like, the bathroom and give it the treatment. But I'm not gonna run a stream from my bathroom. So here we are. Give the top a good scrub. And then the bottom. How do you guys in the chat, what's your favorite nib prepping method? Potato, toothpaste, Windex. What's your guys' methods? There we go. Let's give that a good scrub. And I forgot to open my water jar. Leather wrapped, of course, because everything is. Dip the other side of the Q-tip in water and give it a scrub. I feel like this nib might have a coating on it as well. Does anybody know was Speedball experimenting with coatings, the Hunt 101s? I don't remember when or where I got these ones, but they're not like the... They're not like the browny, coppery kind of color. They're more silver-esque, like they've been coated. Or it's a different metal. Maybe I won't like it at all to write with. I don't believe I've written with one that has this coloring. Minty. Alright. Give that one more dip. Wipe down with the paper towel. None of this has to be super precise type of work. Just cleaning that toothpaste off. Like I said, it is much nicer if you go straight to your bathroom and do it over the sink, but this works. More times than not, I end up doing it at my desk because I don't want to get up. Or if I go to a convention or something, I'll take a whole bunch and prep them in the bathroom, in the sink, all at once. So that I don't have to deal with this when I'm on the road. Thanks, Cyril. This is my cozy hat. People always ask me when I wear it if I'm not boiling, but it doesn't really heat my head up that much. It just keeps me cozy. All right. Make one final spit shine. And then the moment of truth, we'll give it a dip. See how the ink is sticking, and then check the line. Alright, you can see when I dip, the top has a little bit of, focus, a little bit of the top could use a bit more cleaning, but overall it's getting a pretty good coat, which is great. Hello, hero. Welcome, welcome. Just gonna give it another scrub a little bit farther down on the nib. Or farther up on the nib, I guess, to be precise. I mean, Karina, if Windex works for you, that's great. The cool thing is, I wouldn't say any of the prepping methods are really better or worse than each other. I haven't had the success that other people have had with Windex, so I tend to not use it as much, but some people use it to great effect. Okay, now this is completely unsharpened, completely stock, so we don't know what this hairline's gonna look like, but how is it? It's actually probably good for stream. It's not as fine as I would like it, but it makes a hairline that you guys can definitely see, so that's good. Hello, Sarah. Welcome, welcome. Just take a look under the loop and see if I wanna do anything to it, or if I should, maybe I'll just leave this one today. I think I'm just gonna leave it. We'll do a stock nib day today. Maybe a little bit later on we can sharpen it up, but give some very visible hairlines today. If that's alright with everybody. So has everybody downloaded? This is like homework I'm a teacher and this is your homework. Has everybody downloaded the Business Educator Full Alphabets PDF from my website? If you have not, there's a link in the description of this video where you can find it, or you can just go to MrMGWard.com and then go to the archive and download the Business Educator Full Alphabets. How's it going, Warren? Because today, it has been a long time. Today we are going to curate an alphabet. We're going to pick through some favorite capital variations from different penmen and try to replicate those in a full alphabet run. A bit of a challenge for me. Can't promise that it's going to look the exact same. But I'm going to sort of lean heavily on letting you guys decide whose variation we use. So while I get warmed up, if you guys want to dive in there, and the first question is, whose A are we going to pull? Oh, that incense smells so good. I wish it burned slower. I want it to burn all day long. Oh, good catch, Jojo Swinny. Autofocus. Oh, there we go. Good catch. Hello, Lene's mom. Oh, wow. Maybe she has a, what I think it's called a negation field. Some people that technology just is not a fan of. All right, we got Sarah's voting for A.D. Taylor's A. I have no issues with that. A.D. Taylor's writing is beautiful. Oh, she used to live in Vancouver. Nice. Well, I will pass on your hi to Vancouver. It's very wet, Vancouver, these days. Although today, I think it's raining now, but there was no rain earlier today. I was out running errands and whatnot, and luckily it was a dry day. The time indicator before the name. In the chat, you mean, Cyril? I do believe that is a feature that you can turn on or off on your own device, if that's what you're referring to. Hi, Warren, if I know Richie? Of course I know Richie. Richie is, in my opinion, the best penman on the planet. Yes, he lives in China. He is Chinese. And he has a whole whack of students that are incredible. Yeah, he's done really amazing things with the penmanship world in China. Oh, almost dipped my nib in my tea. Oops. I should probably take a sip of that. Alright, so if we're gonna go with A.D. Taylor, I didn't see any other votes for any other capital A's, Sarah, so it looks like you will probably get your wish. Is there a specific one? I think there are a couple alphabets by A.D. Taylor in here, are there not? Let's go. I know this is out of focus, so I don't want to keep going back and forth from... Alright, so the first 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6. The first 6 alphabets in the PDF are all A.D. Taylor's. Of them, I quite like... Well, I guess I'm gonna have to go if I'm gonna keep looking at my phone. Just have to keep reminding myself. Oh, did Lewis and I were chatting about A.D. Taylor yesterday. Ah, I see that. I missed his vote. Sounds good. Sarah says number 5. Okay, so we got number 1 here. Where's the A for number 2? There's number 2. And we got number 3. More of an artistic penmanship than ornamental for that A. Same thing with 4. And we got, ooh. Nice. So that's the variation we're gonna try for. I love that it has, I mean, one interesting thing, that little shade on the end, I'm used to doing it with quite a bit of a hook on the end, like Blozer did it. But his continues in the oval shape, which is quite nice. The pointy A. The fine balance between having this nice and curved and having a good compound curve on the stem, and having this come down, but have it not really get, it's still like a nice taper in here. Accent shade is great there, and then a little whoop. All right. Sounds good, let's dive in. Oh, my light shines on my phone screen and then right into my eyes when my phone is beside me here. Is there somewhere else I can put my phone today so that it doesn't blind me? Maybe over here. for now. Here we go. Perfect. So we start off with a nice compound curve. And then a shade at the end that doesn't curl too much. Which is interesting because you apply your shade like in this angle. But his shade is getting applied in that angle, which is really interesting. I'm almost curious if it was done afterwards. Which, these were engraved, so highly possible. But, we'll see what we can do. I am Linne. Alright, so what do we need first and foremost? This needs to be a little bit higher. Shade's not too bad, and I'm getting a little bit too much of a curve on the top, I think. I think. That's kind of the idea. And then I have this way too close in there. But you see the part that I was, what happens to me all the time. I get this curve and then it comes down. So then I get wider space here and then it narrows and then it gets wider again. Which you don't want it to have that in the middle. It's okay to have like a little bit of that. His has, it doesn't really go in. It goes like tapers and then maintains that width for a little bit and then tapers back out again. But ideally, we just don't want it to come in. To squeeze there. Brand new nib, gotta get used to it. Okay, so if we have that like so. I gotta do some horizontal oval warm-ups. Hello, Kiara. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so now the question. I'm gonna ask Lewis this question because this was his suggestion for a stream today. So do I practice each letter and then get a new sheet of paper and do the A on that sheet and then practice the B and then do the B on that sheet? Or do I practice all the letters and then try to do the alphabet all in one shot? Or do I do it one letter at a time as we choose the letters? What are your thoughts? It's not dissimilar to scissors, Cyril. You're not far off. That's better, I think. Something like so, and then he has this little whoop in the middle. I didn't get an accent shade on that top bit, unfortunately, like his. And his is a little bit longer. If mine ends here, his sort of ends like there. Not quite as curved and a little bit taller. But that's the idea. So yeah, I gotta... Curious, if we do I get another sheet of paper now and put the A on, and then move to the B, or what do you... No need to apologize. Every one of these letters could probably be a good multi-hour session of actual practice anyway, so we're not gonna worry too much about utter perfection today. That's a little bit... That's taller. Is that what I want? We'll reference the image here in a sec. This comes down. Something like so. Hello, hello. How's that in comparison here? Oh, I know I'm off autofocus again. I have a feeling my phone images are just gonna have to be out of focus. Otherwise, all the right, I'm never gonna remember to keep clicking back and forth. So we got... That's not terribly dissimilar, minus the fact that I'm not getting that accent shade. So I'm going to do that second stroke a few times. Sounds good. Well, yeah, we will definitely practice separate. All right, I'm going to practice that second stroke with the accent oval. Or with the accent shade. And it's such a light accent shade. It almost feels like I'd be better off with a slightly stiffer nib, potentially. That's better. Just that little bit of something something. It is giving ocean wave vibes, you're correct. That wasn't big enough there, but... Little accent shade on that one. Not quite tall enough. Oh, I think we're in ad territory now. Enjoy your ad, everybody. Take a sip of tea. Red ink pens. Don't quote me on this because there is a very, very good chance that it's wrong, but I don't know what they're used for. Something in my brain, it feels like it wants to tell me that that's something to do with like not being a tailor, but something to do with clothing, some kind of marking. I could be completely making that up though. That being said, so please don't quote me on that. Yeah, well, the Leonard principles are much stiffer. Even the older batches of them. No, I think there was a nib that was actually called like a red ink nib or a red ink pen, I believe. Or was it like a laundry pen type of a thing? Not laundry, that doesn't make any sense. My brain is reaching and I can't specifically remember. I'm wondering if the red ink was a different consistency than like a penmanship ink or a writing fluid. So it they made a nib that potentially yielded better results with it. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to add that shade on the fly. That is going completely the wrong angle for me. Ooh, there we go. Alright, so I don't know if the one I do on the actual page will have that little accent shade the way I want it. I'm not connected up here, but I can cheat that. Shh, don't tell anybody. But I think that's the idea. So I'm going to grab another sheet, and we're going to do the A on our second sheet. I'm not going to worry too much about the design or layout that we're doing here. Oh, are you on, what is it, Calipos? That website? I don't know how you say it. Calipo.de? Alright, don't mess up. Here's our A. Oh, I'm off screen. Where am I going? There we go. Don't mess up. Pressure's on. Last one was better. But it'll do. There is our AD Taylor A. A little crooked in there. Let me now add that accent shade, or the shade on the end of this little bit. The angle that he has his. Like so. We'll call that our A. Alright. Moving on to the capital B. Whose B do we like? You're not wrong, Lene, that's true. What was the piano playing? No, Fozzie was a bear. The piano player was a dog, and his name was Ralph, if memory serves. Was I right? Can somebody Google and double check? Fact check me, because I feel like that's right. And I want to be proud of the fact that I remembered that. But yeah, Fozzie is a bear, and the dog, piano playing dog, is Ralph, I believe. Rolf. Nice. Alright, now we gotta pick a B. Let's go to our PDF here. I feel like I should just scroll until I see one that I find appealing. I mean, AP Mube's B was great. He had a swirly one. Wait, I should do this. You guys won't be able to see what I'm doing. There's this very different variation of B that I rarely use. That one there. Oh. Whoa, that B goes backwards. Well, I've seen it before, obviously, because I put this PDF together, but I've never noticed it before. Whoa. 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 That's kind of neat. It does kind of look like an R that's flying. You're not wrong. Anybody got any B suggestions? Just go until this one's very beautiful. Kanan's B. Very simple, very understated. The backwards one, that weird one that I zoomed in on. Those look like P's because they don't shade the bottom. That's dangerous. Whoa! I feel like I'm deciding because I really like this one. Another one that I've obviously seen this picture before, but I've never noticed. This B. Oh, and look at that Q. So cool. I have noticed that Q before. I like it. But that's fun. Now the question, do you think he went from here and around? Or did he start here? And go in. Could be done either way. Might have to try both and see which one feels more comfortable. Maybe this will be, instead of just picking like Penmen or different letters by different Penmen, we'll go like, we'll try to find some unusual, unique, interesting variations. All right, well, let's give it a shot. Remember to this back here, get our focus back. Yeah. The Jones B. What page is that on? Do you know? And while we're going through these, it would be beneficial for me because the way this PDF is sorted, it's by first initial, so I can't scroll to J to find Jones. Page 35 by Zahner. Beige page after the black Taylor page. Ah. Oh, this design. I'm not a huge fan of his execution, but the design is cool. Instead of bringing this all the way around to there, going out in a, whoa, in a compound curve instead. And then I like starting this. I've done this second stroke inside that one before. I like that. I originally got that, I believe, from Berensmeyer. Oh, so Lewis, if you look at the file name, does tell you, and there's what are they called? Not like bookmarks, but every image has the information of the Penmen, except for when we get to the bottom, then it's all, there's a bunch of unknown ones, many of which I think are Zahner, but they're not credited, and I can't be super sure. But most of these ones, they have, the file name says the Penman's name. So like the B that we're doing right now on page, I believe it's 36. Yeah, 36 is CP Zahner, and 35 is also Zahner. Zahner is... it goes from 32 all the way to 36. Those are all Zahner. So if you sharpened your nib and it's catching the paper, all you gotta do, you can smooth it again. Like you can always take off the sharp edges or the burrs or something. That's where I use like a micro mesh or an even finer sandpaper or something to then smooth it off. You do sort of two steps. One, losing the material, and then the second one is smoothing it and sort of polishing it so it no longer catches on the page. And if you went too far, you can dull it again, luckily. All right, I'm gonna work on this Zahner B now. On page 36. Yeah, focus is in, locked. I might make my shade slightly bigger than he did, just to, so it match. Well, I guess my A shade wasn't that big. I like this one. That happy face. So we got there, and then I don't know which direction I want to do this in yet. I'm thinking this way, but this might be not a good idea. Because my theory is that you would want this part to feel natural, to feel like writing a B. Could be wrong. Hello, Annie. Welcome to our alphabet extravaganza. Okay, so I gotta drop this much lower. I want this to be like there. See, the tricky part now, when I do it this way, doing it this way would be easier to follow, because this line would already be there. So I could follow that down this way and follow this parallel all the way around as a guide. So the ending would be easier, but this part would feel different. Try it a couple more times. What am I wearing? My cozy hat with bad pylon buttons. And my slacker table shirt. Of course, a giant slacker table shirt. I'm in cozy mode today. Cozy mode initiated. Activated. A little too hardcore on that stem, but that's all right. Let's try it the other way and see how we like it going backwards. Whoa, what did I do? Whoops. Oh, I don't think I like that. I like it the other way. I'm pretty sure I like going this way better. I just have to remember to come down low enough so that goes around there. Okay. Noted. And I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so I don't lose stability, lose fluidity. That large oak. So that's the idea. Now it's just getting this in a little bit lower, but then keeping my space nice. But I definitely like the flow of writing it that way better than the other way. Ooh, fancy leggings. Ugh. Messed that up. Gotta get this guy looking a little more round. A fun, unique challenge. I don't have enough range of motion to get all the way from up here and all the way to down here. I gotta write small arm. Or do whole arm. I guess I could do whole arm. There's no shades in that stroke, so whole arm might actually be... Let's try. I'll do my stem normally. And out of curiosity... Okay, whole arm is much smoother. That's the idea. Ugly stem, but that's okay. Not the stroke we're working on right now. My knuckle is fairly straight up. It does sometimes go a little off to the right. But it is, like when I'm writing here, it is slightly to the right. It's not exactly perfect vertical or to the roof. Yeah, Annie, that's Lewis. We had the same question when he came in. Oh. So it's... Because he makes this stroke round, it's this space right here. I need more space for this line every time. So it's that I need. Lower right bulge. Not specifically the brunette one. I may have done some of the letters in there at some point or another, but I don't often, except when I'm on stream, do like real replications of these alphabets and whatnot. I'll usually pick like a letter that I like, and then I just sort of practice that letter and move on. I'm not the best at sort of remembering what I referenced where or where I pulled. what inspiration for different letters from. Pull this out a little bit. Okay. There we go. Now, that's better. Give myself space on the bottom now. That's the idea. Now this has to go. I need that to hook over a little bit more. Need to open up that little oval in there. Obviously take this smoother oval shape. Yeah, but that's the idea. On the right track. Kind of like so. Not bad. Yeah, I hooked this over way more, and then I just habitually, unfortunately, took this way over that way, even farther than the last time. Oops. Not a fan of the bee, Annie? We're experimenting with some different variations. You don't have to like it. You never ever have to write it, ever, if you don't want to. It's a variation that I'm not familiar with. I've obviously seen it before, but it's never really logged in my brain. Okay. That's the idea. It's weird to not take that farther over there. I guess I could make this technically shorter so that it cuts over there. His doesn't have quite that much of a hook. Gotta get a little bit more of something like that going. It'll be better. Alright, one more practice, then we're going to put it on the page. We're going to let it be what it is. Okay, we got a nice hook on the top of that one. Now, as long as we don't mess up the rest. Not bad. Definitely better than where we were when we were starting like so. These last ones at least have some flow to them. Alright, put that aside and we go to our actual alphabet paper. And we executed even better than all of our practice. Do 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 do. Okay. Good morning, Lavina. Welcome, welcome. All right, where's my stem? Right there. Okay. Good stem. Off the baseline a little bit, but that's all right. Not bad. Could be worse. Alright, now for C, I don't think there's a question. I think we gotta go with Kanan. Lewis says page 48. Let's check it out. Is that one of Kanan's pages? Or are we going a unique I guess if we're doing unique variations. Let's see. What do we got on page 48? Focus. 48. Who is this? This is D.L. Stoddard. Oh, with an extra shade and swirl on the top. Is that the one you're referring to? Lewis, I'm assuming. Is that the vote? Anybody else want to throw a horse in the race? Stoddard. Ooh, his V has a lot of expression. It's a curvy V. Curvy. Sorry. Oh, his C shade is very Kanan-esque. Extremely. Alright, we can do this one. Double shade at the beginning. Biggest challenge, pretty sure, is going to be if I do a stroke like this, having this shade come down farther closer to the baseline is going to be habitual for me, or it's going to be standard. You know I don't like habits, but I have to be sure to cut that off. Ooh, that's fast. Really quick. Alright, let's give it a shot. Yeah, some of the alphabets in that PDF are definitely retouched. Some of them, a lot of them have been or were from engravings. Like I know most of Lupfer's, Lupfer's were from engravings, a lot of them. And then a lot of them as well were like cut and pasted, so they do their perfect variation and then put it all in until it was then photo engraved for the print block. But what I like about this PDF in particular is it's not just the famous Penmen. It is every full alphabet that I could find in the business educators that have been scanned and are digitally accessible. So there are students and kids, and so long as it fell in the realm of ornamental penmanship, I didn't include business penmanship and whatnot, but so long as it fell in the realm of ornamental penmanship, I included it in here. And there's some not great ones, so take those as inspiration, that even stuff that wasn't great still was considered good enough to be printed in magazines back then. Yeah, if you're just on my website, you won't see page numbers. You have to get the PDF, and then depending on what PDF viewing application you use. All right, here we go. Let's get our focus so I don't forget that part. Should have had a sip of tea in the little writing break there, but that's okay. Just go hairline first so we get this little shape. This is gotta go. All right, you'll notice this is gonna look when it's in ink, or it's all ink. When it's in hairline, before the shade is added, it's gonna look a little bit like tight or narrow in here, but once that shade gets added on top, pushed off to the left, that will take that left tine's shape a little bit wider on the left, and it won't look so weird, in theory. Good night, Karina. See you next week. Thanks for hanging out with us. Something kind of like that. My shade is much longer than his is. He cuts off about there. And I can make that little oval a little bit bigger. But that is the idea. I gotta go farther down. It's weird cutting off for some reason. It doesn't feel as weird when you do it with a horizontal entry, but doing it with an angled oval entry is peculiar. That's the idea. Not a big enough shade on my entry oval. Or shade on my entry oval either. I gotta get that accent in there. Judging at the speed that in which I'm going through this might be a bit of a series instead of just one stream. Perhaps, if I take this much time with each letter, which I'm enjoying doing, so. Yeah. Not too bad. Let's try one more, then we're gonna go for it. My little oval is angled a lot more than his. So I gotta tweak that a little bit. That's all right. Oh, Warren, did you log in from a different account? You have a different colored yeah, it's same name, but you have a different colored icon now. Alright, we're just gonna go for it. I'm not making this nearly long enough, but we're gonna dive in, give this one a go on our alphabet sheet. If you start with horizontal oval, kind of like with the E, then you do a small shade and finish. Oh, so you're saying do like a horizontal oval in the... You're saying start with this horizontal oval? You're saying something like this? Then I guess you don't have to stop there. Something like so? But if I do a normal C, I can't go from coming horizontal to here and then have this also be a beautiful hairline up here without a lift in there. I would have to do this and then this. Like a normal, quote-unquote normal C. If I have a shade there, like I need to have, there's that fluid up and then around. And this technically, his, like I'm ending here, his shade is, his stroke is starting way up there. I think similar to when they do the capital A, that this shade is done, it's independent, sort of done on its own. And it's hard to tell on his, it looks like it's shaded slightly more on the bottom than the top, which is why I was doing it in reverse. But you could do it this way and then just touch that connection when you come down. Whoops. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. I'm gonna do the horizontal oval first this time, but then lift and then do the entry. I think I might regret this later, but we'll see how it goes. So that's there. Went a little too far. I started it too far to the right, but that's okay. Something like so. Movement writers for capitals, I mean, if I were to do it slow, you could do it with retrace. I think it's not necessarily retrace. I think it's more so they did one stroke and then they did the other stroke to touch that one stroke. Like you could do that horizontal oval. Here, let me go back to this sheet. You could technically do... I would wager that no old school ornamental penman would do it this way. Doing like the horizontal oval in the beginning, and having that retrace come down. Like that's a method of execution, but I don't imagine any of them back in the day did it that way. But you could. Okay, that's this page. We're at the bottom, but let's pick a... Oh no, now we go downhill. We got the capital D. Whose capital D are we gonna use? Are there any fun variations that I really, really like? Mr. White's from page 19. Let me check out page 19. Ooh, with an extra little loop. I like that one. Not super dissimilar to what we just did, other than the entry oval. But same thing here, I would do... This one you can tell there's more shade on the upper left. So he would, depending on which he did, he could do this first, and then add this in after, or he did this first, and then came in and added that after. But I would definitely assume no retrace, but 2 strokes that touch. But at least in this instance, because of that accent shade, we know the direction that he did certain things. There's no retrace in really ornamental penmanship because, well, there you can tell there's no retrace because this, if you're coming along here, this line isn't gonna all of a sudden go and curve this way. This line is just touching this hairline that is naturally curving this way. It's not a retrace world. In ornamental penmanship, there's really no retrace because what ends up happening when people try to do instances of like where in certain styles of writing there is a retrace, because of the speed and the fluidity, this loop was intentional, but you end up, retraces don't end up being retraces. They end up taking up more space, something like this. They turn into loops, or they turn into, because they take up more space. So I would, and it probably not always the case, but I would wager 9.9 times out of 10 if it's old vintage specimen or a vintage sample of writing, take retracing off the table. Okay, what do we got? We got on page 29. There's one on page 99, would go well with what we've done so far. I like that. Annie says, Courtney, you gotta give me page numbers, Annie. What do we got on page 53? Oh! A unique variation of the D, which I like. So that's Lupfers. What is... Let me check page 29. Nope, that's not 29, that's 28. That's 29. This one's gonna be difficult for me. Personally, I am not a huge fan of entry ovals not going, stopping in the middle of an oval, or starting rather in the middle of an oval. I want it to be here or farther this way. So to my eye, this one bugs me a little bit. I like that, so this is White's D, which I like, but I like that Lupfers has the shade on the stem and then a single shade coming down here. So I think I'm gonna resolve, ooh, let's see, variation 1 on page 34. Let's check that out. This is fun. Choose your own adventure. 34. Variation 1. Ooh. Wait, I'm looking at C's. I was like, I like that C. Which I do really like that variation of the C. I'll often do it with either a little loop there, or then putting a dagger in that top little bit. Here's a similar example to sort of what I was talking about with the horizontal oval on the C. You can see how it's not touching anything. They just did a horizontal oval, most likely after the A itself was already done. Then they came in and added that, or they might have added that and then done the A. Either or. But let's see the capital D. So it's I like this one too. With the second loop. on the inside. So the big question is, do we want one loop or do we want two loops? Let me get 1 or 2 in the chat. Cast your votes. 1 or 2. I won't do a poll or anything. Type 1 or type 2 if we want one big oval like Lupfer's, or 2 ovals like this one. Show Lupfer's again. There's the single one. Sarah says 2. Oh, just when he says 2. So far 2 is the winning vote. Hiya. Page 36. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start with I like this one. I'm gonna do the compound curve variation of the capital D today, though, I believe. I think I'm gonna do the one on page 34 with 2 loops. We'll take a challenge, why not? I'll be honest though, I might do a hybrid, just in that stem shade. This is very much, it's right in the middle, which is very unusual for ornamental penmanship. Normally that would be a stem shade. The weight would be down here. That's the way Lupfer does it. So we'll see. My shade might not end up being in the middle. It might end up being more of a stem. We shall see how it turns out. Get a couple more letters on this page before I move over to a new one. All right. Smaller loop on the end there. Now we gotta get, every time I do this variation of the capital D, I go way too far to the right. So we have to make this little loop a little bit longer, make this compound curve a little more abrupt, and then come up quicker this way to get the shape that we want a little bit better. Wiseman on 46. Yup. Flourish connected. Not something you see all the time, which is pretty cool. What page were we just on? 34, right. Okay. I transition up faster. It's a little better. Very narrow that time. We went the extreme the other direction. To add a shade on the stem again. Oh, our spinning top is done. The battery did not last the stream. But I didn't hear it. Normally I hear it when it falls. I think my ears were fuzzy hat protected today and I didn't hear them. All right. That's a decent capital D. Gotta be honest, it's weird trying to do that shade in the middle. Good night, Lori. Thanks for hanging out. My tendency would always be to do that shade down at the bottom. Like so. But we'll do it his way today, even though it feels very strange. I put it a little bit too high on that one. Bad shade placement, Mike. Right in the middle. I think we can go with this one. I'm gonna dive right in. Sounds good, Lewis. Have a good words. Sounds good, Lewis. Have a good one. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, I think it's gonna end up being a series if we're gonna get through the whole alphabet. We'll have to continue it next week, I think. All right. Do a little one of these. That'll work. Not too shabby. Not perfect by any stretch, but it'll work. My exit oval was much more oval than his, more similar to Lupfer's variation that we looked at. All right, now capital E's. What do we got for unique capital E's in here? Let's see what I can find. Put your votes in the chat if you got some good E variations that you like. Oh, actually, on this page, that's kind of fun. That shade is massive for the size of that oval. I like that. That's an E that I do quite often, that second one. E variations. Whoa, that's neat too. basically the same idea, just with a compound curve added after the fact in the middle. That's kind of neat. I'm gonna go to the end. I'm gonna work my way backwards a little bit because we're stuck in the beginning of this. Ooh, fancy capitals. I like that stop, down, and go again. That little triangle up top is kind of unique and neat. The rest is pretty. These alphabets are like spaghetti noodly. Yeah. Yeah. Roller coaster letters. Very plain. Super clean. I would love to be able to emulate this alphabet perfectly. I wonder if this is Lupfer. These are in the unknown area. Have a look at 47. Stoddard again. We gotta try some other Penmen. We can't keep doing the same one. I do like the compound curve start on top. That is nice. Whoa, why won't it let me? There we go. Compound curve on top. Then continuing up into a compound curve. 2 compound curves, starting and ending. We already did a Stoddard. I'm gonna do a different Penmen. No need to apologize. There are no rules, technically. In the middle. Looking for something that's unique. Lupfers aren't going to be unique. They're too clean to be super unique. They're perfect. Wait. I gotta go farther back. Randomly scroll 3/4 the way through. There we go. Oh, some Mataras. I think that, yeah, these Mataras. Standard ease, though. Give me something snazzy. That's a fun one. Starts with regular, then comes around, and then finishes in a compound curve going off to the left. Who's that one by? Kelchner. Maybe I'll do that one. I like that extra swirl that it gives at the end. That was page 47. Carlin's E is like perfect. Brown on 64. Let's check out brown. Whoa, so fast. This is a crazy fast alphabet. I dislike that little oval touching that big shade. I would prefer if this shade was like, I don't know, bisected in there. That's unusual. Brown was really going for it on this one. Speed-wise, throw caution to the wind. I think I'm gonna do that, oh, I don't remember what page it was on now. Do you guys remember what I said? I said it out loud and now I can't remember. Not too long. It's taking a long time. There is no too long. We don't have a time limit. I can't remember the... Oh, no, wait. Which one was it that had the compound curve at the end? It looped and then it compounded off to the left. Oh, man. Oh, it was Kelchner. Fort Carland. No, LM. There we go. This one. I think I'm gonna do this one. Keep it simple. Like a wine. Ooh, you would like the, I gotta get the dates of all these. Oh, you want the 1893 vintage, do you? Sounds good. That is a wonderful selection this evening. What would you call what's the penmanship equivalent of a sommelier? We need a term for penmanship sommelier. Penmolier? Curious. Oh, where did he go then? Then he goes here and continues. Well, that's not what I was supposed to do. That's the wrong shape. Ooh, an ovalier. Ooh, I like that, Sarah. Good job, ovalier. When I first read it, I read ovalier. An ovalier, which I also really like that as well. Ovalier, ovalier, ornementalier. Now, are you saying scribblier? Scribblier. Scribblier? Scribblier. A scribblier? That sounds dangerously close to wanting to be some weird kind of bolognese. Ovalier is my favorite so far, I think. Ovalier. That's wrong too. Okay, Mike, get yourself figured out here. This has to continue. Follow parallel, and then cut through. Okay, that's not hard. Come on, brain. Scribblier. Yeah, these are... Some of them start sounding like weird pastas. Lamentalier. Ovalier. Ovalier. I did it again. Come on. Think about what you're doing. It's because my arm doesn't want to continue going all the way down because I know I'm going to bottom out if I'm not careful down here in my space, which I got to plan according for that. 2 Fs. All right? I will remember once we finish the E. Today, yep, I am using St. Petersburg white gouache. I know Lewis isn't here right now, but he's been having good success with the is it Nicker? Nicker white gouache. He got some at Iampit this year, and I meant to get some to test it out. But that's what he's been using, and he likes it quite a bit. I'm curious to test that one out. That's the idea. Page 87 for Fs. 84, 85, 87. 88. So basically every page, Linnae? There we go, that's what we want. We want this to start a little bit farther down here. Like that. Snicker. Yeah. They had quite a bit at convention. That's why I feel so silly for not... Like, I didn't even test it out at convention. It came up in conversation so many times to try it, and then I never did. It's acrylic? I thought it was like a gouache. Or is it acrylic gouache? I don't know how things work. I don't know that much about it. Here, let's put this on our sheet. Our top line. Give me 1 second. My headphones are squishing my ear today. I haven't worn these ones in a while. Please don't squish my ear. Oh, dope. I forgot that there was that presentation on it. Okay, here we go. E. Now just don't forget the letter you're making. Here, so I'm not out of frame. That'll work. All right, so there's our first 4 capital letters of our curated alphabet run. Now we pick an F. We pick a capital F. I'm gonna take my headphones out for a little bit. Hurts my ear and I don't know why. I think a combination of a hat squishing the headphones in and then wearing glasses today, which I don't usually wear glasses for my streams, which then there's just too much going on behind my ear today, so no music for me. Okay, let's check some of these Fs you were recommending. We gotta scroll up a little bit. Page 84, 85, 87, 88, 80. All the 80s. Oh, I was still on autofocus that whole time. Whoops. Go to 80. Okay, here's 80. Oh, that's 82. There's 80. Oh, so simple. I've never seen them go like that straight into the next letter before, which is kind of neat. And you had 84 and 85 were the first 2 that you suggested. 84. Ooh, I like that one. That is one that I use quite often. I like that something very unusual is that this top one, instead of starting with a angled oval stroke, it's a compound curve, which is not something you see very often, which is kind of cool. 85, Stutzman, F. I've used that top crossbar before. Very heavy shade on his tick. All right, what else we got? 87 and 88. Little double loop. $87, $88. Ooh, I like 88. 88's definitely my favorite so far of these ones. Studio Ghibli uses Nicker? That means I have to use it. That's a great fact, Sarah. I think I'm gonna do this one because it's cool. Who's this by? Oh, it's Darner, of course. 88. You say 98 goes all out. Let me check 98, but I feel like I'm gonna use 88. 98. Ah, Berensmeyer. Yes. Beautiful. That's really pretty. So here's another instance where there wouldn't, I would assume, no retrace. He would do this skit here, finish that oval, and then he would do, most likely, this stroke right here, and then he connected them with this compound curve afterwards that went here, which was probably drawn in or written in a little bit slower than the other two. I would wager. I mean, cost-effective art supplies are always a bonus. Art supplies are expensive. Alright, I really like this one, but I think I'm gonna use the 80... Was it 88? Yeah. I really like this one. Shades galore. Alright. Practice. Feels weird not having my headphones in because it's so quiet. I am used to having music in my ears. It feels like there's a music technical issue that I should fix. Yeah, we got 4 shades in this one. I never usually put a shade on that stroke, which is interesting. I guess 5 shades if you include our tick at the end. And his tick has a bit of a curve, so I can't do it quite as snappy as I do my standard ones. His, on that ending stroke, his weight ends up being like here. Mine is ending up being in this lower left area, which is no good. Oh yeah. G is gonna be a fun one. Did it, so why that same spot instead of here is where I need the shade. That's better. Wrong angle, but Got the shade in the right spot. Zoom us back in a little bit. Ooh, welcome back, Zero. Yes, election day in the US. There we go. Gotta just apply the weight a little bit sooner. Now I'm going a little bit too much down this way. He takes his down or in that direction. Okay. We can do that, I think. That's the right shape or the right direction. I just put the shade in the wrong spot. Hard to do all those things right at the same time. This little stroke is deceivingly challenging. Come on. Nope. That's a little better. A little better. That's the one. That's what I want to do. I forgot to do an accent shade here, but that's all right. Stem, 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 stem. Couple the whole thing and then we'll check it on the page. That's the idea. Something like so. Yeah, so the nib, this is a brand new, straight out of the box today, Hunt 101, not sharpened or anything, just completely stock. Normally I sharpen my 101s, and I will sharpen this one eventually, but today we're just going pure stock. And then the paper is called Recollections. It's 24-pound paper from Michaels. The common, they have a 60-pound and I believe a 110-pound. They might have a 90-something pound as well. But this past year, they launched this 24-pound, much thinner paper. So it's what I've been using for my black and craft paper lately. I really like it. It's my second favorite black paper. My favorite is called something d'étranger. It's French. But it's much more expensive. The ink, no, I'm using what's called, it's St. Petersburg Masterclass Gouache. It's a bit tricky to find, I think. But yeah, St. Petersburg's Masterclass Gouache in, I believe, titanium white. Mixed at approximately one part gouache, 2 parts water. 1/3 gouache to water ratio. Whoops, ran out of ink, but that's the idea. All right. I think we can take this one to the page. I think. Start our second line. Oof. Rough shades there. Oopsies. Rough ovals. Not the best F execution, but that's all right. It is what it is. I think I went a little bit too big. That A is really big, so I was trying to match that size. Might have gone a little too big. We'll pretend it looks more like that one. All right. Did we decide? Did we find a good G? Oh, that's a cool O. All right, what do we got for G's in here? Standard. Descender variation. Looking for a cool G. Give me a cool G. So far, these are all very standard. G, brunette G on 17. Let's see what we got on page 17. Ooh. Wait, whoops. Burnett. I do like that one, and we're gonna do that one because it's unique. I'll check out Perren's as well on 84, but I really like this one. Sits on the baseline. Yeah, I like it. Let's check out Perren's on 84 though, just for good measure. CD. Same idea. It just has a... I like that one too, actually quite a lot. With the oval at the end. Do I want the oval? This one might match ours better. Yeah, it's the same idea. I think I'm gonna do this one. I think with that exit oval, it'll match a little bit better since our F. Yeah, quite a few of our letters have that curving. Although the B ends The B ends in a stem, so either or would match. But I think we're gonna go this one. A good choice. Well spotted, Lene, well spotted. Should be relatively simple to execute, I think. Like so. Easy peasy. Do a couple more of those for good measure though. Get a slight accent shade on this opening oval. I'm gonna make this compound curve. I got my first oval was a little too wide. Make that compound curve a little more abrupt. Oops. Not the best ovals on that one. That's the idea. Oh, we got an ad coming up in 25 seconds. Be aware, ad coming in. Do one more. I will wait a little bit, and then I will do this one on the page once the ad is finished. That is a beautiful G variation. Groovy. I like it. I am a fan. Here, and then we will put it with the rest of our alphabet. F, I believe, is the weakest one on here so far, unfortunately. F is one of my favorite letters to write. I shouldn't have messed that one up so bad. Give myself quite enough space in the middle there, but that'll work. Make that look like that was on purpose so that it sits on that little line. It works. Ooh, an art store. It's been hearing you talk about acrylic and gouache and whatnot. All right, what do we got for H? H. Who was that one by? Right, H.E. Perrin. Not familiar with Perrin. All that much. Let's find a cool H in here. Oh, that one's very minimal. Just with the horizontal line, or with the oval going off to the left. 94? Ooh. Kiesling. I like that one. Keep that one in mind. I like it. $99. What do we got on 99? I mean, 99 is a variation that I use relatively often. But I feel like I like the entry on that last one. Or on the 94 that you suggested. Let's see how that one feels. Oh, put this sheet away. Don't practice on this one. I really like this G variation. I'm a fan of the capital G, and I've done this one before, but I don't do it very often, and I feel like I should. It's very pretty. And nice and heavy with the two big shades. Ran out of space at the end. Gotta fight for that short shade here, and then he has a very round exit. 112 has a dagger. What's in 112? Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ah, yeah, I like that one. JD Todd. Amazing Penmen. I'm gonna stick to the one that we're doing. I really like that one on 112 as well, though. With the little, tiny little dagger in the middle. Little tick. We're gonna stick to 94, I think. I like this woo 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 little swirly beginning. Round. Think round. It's just like my hand does not want to make a round exit oval. That is a beautiful exit oval. But I'm trying to make exit circles right. A little more round. That works. I feel like my fingernails keep catching on my glide sheet today. The swoopy entry is interesting, is neat. I would normally, like, the instinct to do this type of an entry would look more something like this. Whereas this would be sort of going up and over that, rather than having the one be all the way top and let it sort of swirl down. Which is interesting. That is not the right letter at all. I definitely going all the way over here. By the time I get to here, I'm pretty much run out of movement, which is risky. I wonder if I should try to do this one whole arm as well, like I did the B. Because I'm running out of space when I get to the end there. Let me try a whole arm attempt. Much easier to get that round, and yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do that one whole arm. I think. Which is all right. That's the idea. Yep, whole arm is the ticket for this one. Get much more rounded on the ending. We'll do one more, and then we'll dive into put it on the sheet. Forgot to do accent shade on that first stroke, on the first right here. That's all right. Let's do it. That'll work. Now we got the capital I. Not the best stage. My opening oval, I started a little bit too close to the G, so it ended up being a little small. Now there's got to be some cool variations of the capital I that aren't just your standard go-tos. $120 and $134. All right, you have nobody to vote against you tonight, Lene. You got the. You get to call all the shots. It looks like. $120. I double loop. Clean and standard. I like the variation of this one that goes where this continues on into an oval down here. Personally, got a 134. It's possible. Yeah, same idea, but with a double shade. I like it with the double shade. So far, this is my vote. Let me see what else I can see in here. Yeah, whatever, let's do it. This one. We'll do JG Christ. Yep. Can do. Like so. Now with his variation, unlike my own, so I've always tried to keep all of these relatively equal spaced, but just in the spirit of matching him today, he does bring this one up higher and then brings this one down lower. So the higher wouldn't work unless the lower one was lower. So if he gives himself more space here and more space here, and then little space in the middle. We'll give that a shot. We will match him today. Instead of doing it our own way. Yeah. It's weird making those not equidistant. That makes me think a little bit harder than I was planning on while writing it. Interesting. There's not supposed to be a shade there. It really messes with my movement, having it be trying to add those spaces, which I'm not even adding. Let's do another whole arm variation. This is going to turn into a whole arm day. It sounds good, Otis Winnie. Lurk away. Whoa. Bigger shade there. Okay. Whole arm. Lose a little bit of control, but make my letters a little bit bigger. Open. Forgot to shade it entirely. I don't know that I like making it bigger on the top and on the bottom. Slow mornings can be nice. That's the idea. It's very, very strange for me making more space and more space. I've said that a few times, but it doesn't feel like it should be strange, but it feels very strange. There we go. That's what we want. Tight, tight, tight. Space, space. That's the goal. That's the goal. Now let's just do that over and over again. Yep. That'll work. A little wonkier on that one, but it still worked. Alright, chuck that on the page. Chuck it on the page. Remember what that movement feels like so we don't mess it up. Are we doing just the I, or are we going to be able to get the J on this line as well? I'd like to get both of them, but don't don't know if I will or not. There we go. Got a bit of an airline, but that's all right. There's our I. Now J. J, J, J. Let's go through the Penmen. The initials start with a J. They must be relatively good at J's. I'll start at J.A. Francis on 103. Standard J. Clean J. Clean. Messy. Very clean. Of course, J.D. Todd. No surprise. Beautiful J. Similar. Same thing. These are all Todd. Oh, the oval is so nice. So nice. Yeah. Valid. J, okay. Todds are all the same. They're beautiful, but they're all the same. GH, what has he got on this one? Not exciting. Not exciting. Give me something exciting. These are all the same, J.D. Todd. Look, he did double loops on all of these letters, but he just left the J boring. But everyone else has a double loop. Oh, L boring. Come on. J, what? Same thing. They were just not very experimental with the J. At least not in these alphabets. H-I. Oh, this is the first one that has the one extra oval on the bottom. 146. Let's see what we got on 146. Ooh, little Kelchner doing a little bit of... That's kind of fun. Simple J, but we started off with a neat little horizontal oval, an unusual connection. So far, I like that. Ooh, that's kind of neat too. A little start. Jabbing down. I think I'm gonna do that little, they're not Mickey Mouse ears, but the little Mickey Mouse ear one. Decided. We'll go with that one. Because it's neat. I'm used to starting this with a compound curve like that. It's interesting doing a... like starting it that way into that oval. Gotta get that to be sweeping a little more that way. Ugly shade, but That shade doesn't feel very good today. There we go. Jay should have. If it was me, we would have done this one. But that's a little too swirly. Maybe something a little more chill. Probably something like that would have worked. There we go. That's what we want. I'm currently using pole arm again for the full height of the J, so I don't run out of movement. That's very sharp on the top. I like it that sharp, but his is not that sharp, so I gotta keep that in mind. Not bad. I think we're gonna use that one. 2 seconds here. What am I doing? There we go. Back to it. Get this J on the page. Oof. Not a good example, that one. Where does... I need to look at... Okay. We're just gonna go for it. Finish up this second line. I'm gonna write this one at a slightly different angle because I know I make my J's very slanted. This way I won't. It won't not match the other letters. Ooh, that was a bit rough, that one. But there is our second row of capitals. Like so, our baseline is dropping a little bit. Well, not terribly. A little bit, because the F and the G are higher than the H and the I. But there's our two capitals so far. Wow, just winning. Nice. There we go. 175, 188, and 194. Lene is ready. Let's check out these. 175. shade on top. I do like that one. That's the one. It's the one stroke or one letter that I quite like doing. The not stem variation of that shade, having the shade right in the middle. Remember, I was having issues with doing it on the capital D. The K is where I like having it there. It's more of like a engrosser script-esque shade. But on the K, I do like it there. That's how I normally do it. There we go. 88. Ah, that's pretty. With 2 entry strokes. Interesting. So now, well, no, this isn't 2 entry strokes. Sorry, let me zoom in and explain this one a little bit. Was there a Dizzy Bunny? I missed it because I don't have my headphones in. Oh, no. Did it not make a sound? It should have made a sound. I don't have my headphones in, so I couldn't hear it, and I wasn't looking at the screen. What? Dizzy Bunny always makes a sound. Was it a different Dizzy Bunny thing? Was it? Interesting. I'm curious. So this variation, oh, we got an ad coming. This is showing, this is in the unknown, but pretty certain these are, I think this was Zayner's. It shows this variation, and then it ends there, and then it shows a second variation with dotted lines. How you could do it with a horizontal starting stroke and a horizontal exit stroke. For a sec, I thought he used all of those strokes, but not the case. It's just a teaching variation. You can see here on the L, you can finish the L with the compound curve that bounces off the baseline, or with a little horizontal oval under the baseline with an accent shade, or the large horizontal oval that he shows here. Did it so it didn't la-la-la-la-la? That's curious. I'm gonna have to look into that to figure out why that didn't work, or why that stopped working. This is a beautiful alphabet to study. 188 is gorgeous. And you also picked 194. Ooh. How's that for an entry? 1 shade loop down. I just want to try that one. I don't know if this is going to be the one we use, but I want to give it a shot. Whoops, so this has to live in there. Like that? Yes, but this comes out lower. Like that, okay. Interesting. That stem is bizarre. I guess it's a capital stem. I need to chill out a little bit. I'm making it too round. It's going a little too quick. More like that. And then something like that. I've definitely never done that many loops on the entrance of the K before. Oops, caught the page. Curious, interesting. I think I may use this K, but I'm gonna tackle the K next week. I am going to end our curated alphabet adventure there, finishing our 2 lines. It's been a quiet, chill night. I wouldn't say making it look so easy. These are not the best examples. This alphabet is bonkers, though. Is this in the... Yeah, this is one of the unknown ones. No, this is W.M. Ayers. Yep, done already, Ojaswini. Like, look at that B! Look at how crazy that is. Ooh, shade, no shade, no shade, shade, no shade around. That's fun. That's like clouds. That looks like the bad guys from Naruto. Looks like the Okatsuki cloud symbols a little bit. But then it's hilarious. The most simple, not even an entry oval on the A. The simplest, cleanest A. And then this wackadoodle B. Another wackadoodle C. Simple D. Wackadoodle E. You can tell the letters he likes and the letters he doesn't like, maybe. F. Standard F. Oh, I've never put a little extra loop in there. These forms are cool. I want to play with sort of the structure and how he makes them, or in the like where this oval goes and whatnot. But some of these ideas are neat. H starts the same as the K. J, super standard, easy J. Same K we were working on. Simple L, relatively chill M. It's that they start using this entry quite a few times now. The one they used on the K. Simple, nothing going on the O. P, similar to that B. I like that. Q, same as the K. R, again, similar to the B. Eat. U, same as the K. V, same as the K. W, same as the K. X, same as the K. Y, not same as the K. Starts it up here, which is kind of neat. I like that. Yeah, O, 0 loops on the O. Interesting. And then his signature, W.M. Ayers. I really like the B and the P. I like a lot. I'm gonna try that real quick. Try it real quick. Where is this even going? I gotta draw it first once. Up there. Then we shade. No shade. Little loop. Ran out of ink. Shade. No shade. And around. Okay. Sounds good. Whoops. Nope, no 11 o'clock blacklight party. It's different every time. You never know when it's gonna be the blacklight. Will it be 11? Will it be 10? Will it be midnight? You never know. Alright, Sarah, thanks for hanging out. Have a wonderful evening. Sweet dreams to you. Thank you very much for joining in our curated alphabet hunt challenge. That's actually, it wasn't executed very well, but that's actually super, yeah, we gotta think of something cool for next week. I'll probably post something on Instagram asking people if they have things they want to do for 150. I need to start posting on Instagram again. I've started losing a lot of Instagram followers because my Instagram has been dead. My apologies. That's a cool bee. Cool bee. Neat. Wonderful. I'm assuming people unfollow, it's people who probably followed me a long time ago or something like that, and then if people use sort of you can use apps and whatnot to unfollow inactive accounts. That's how, if people are wanting to increase their own engagement, sometimes they don't want to be sort of affiliated with active accounts or bot accounts or something like that. So if I don't post very often, then I get seen as sort of an inactive, dead account, which my account has essentially been inactive and dead, which is my own fault and for no good reason whatsoever, because I've been writing and doing stuff, I just haven't been posting things, which is bad, and I apologize. I need to just start posting more samples of writing. Well, I mean, I'd only do stories like once or twice a week. Once a week. Or 2 stories on Tuesday. It's basically what I post for stories. I enjoy not taking Instagram seriously, but I realize that I've unintentionally disappeared to a much greater degree than I had ever intended. I'm definitely not taking an Instagram break or anything like that intentionally. I'm not doing a social media detox or anything like that. I genuinely don't think about it. Like I normally post foiling videos on Friday, and then Friday comes and goes, and on like Saturday afternoon I think, oh crap, I was supposed to post foiling yesterday. Shoot. And this is what I've started, almost done editing foiling video, so I will post something on Friday, but I need to start posting some writing, because I haven't done that in quite a while, because I do it on the lives, but I should post it on the Instagram as well. Anyways, we're gonna call that a night. That was fun to finish off with this B in this alphabet. We will dive back in with the K next week, unless we decide to do something special for the 150th late night live stream. We will see. I'll post another Instagram post I'll make asking people if they want to do something or if they have suggestions on what they want to do for the 150th. What do we do for the 50th and the 100th? I feel like I had a glass of wine for one of them. Can't remember which. Anyways, thank you very much for hanging out with me today, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful time. Please make sure that you are falling in love with the process. And don't forget that life should be just a bit of silliness, really. Good night, everybody. Bye. And stream.